network of 5 electronics manufacturing and products businesses throughout the UK. And that ranges anything really from prototypes and design to electronics manufacturing services to products with a very diverse global customer base. We work within a broad range of sectors really, aerospace and defence included, but otherwise medical, automotive, industrial and test equipment as well. Our aim is to actually solve problems for customers which they would not consider to be their core competencies, which are our core competencies throughout our businesses. Those really are anything from manufacturing, contract manufacturing services, so PCB assembly, manufacturing the entire products, procuring all of the component parts, even down to some customers would use us for third-party logistics, end customer order fulfillment as well. So really anything, when you say problems, it's anything that our customers consider as a problem, they would actually outsource to Techpoint Group. Our USP is our ability to actually be really good at each part of our business and for that whole network of businesses to come together to offer a complete solution. We had a customer 6-7 years ago and they were one that asked for our help. And we actually, as a consultant, sort of service, I suppose, really sat down with them and understood really what their core competencies were. And they were struggling at the time in procurement. They were struggling with high stock levels. They were struggling to meet on-time deliveries as well. So we went from consolidating their entire procurement of parts, which at the time was over 2,500 individual part numbers purchased from around the world. We outsourced and built in-house to our group businesses now as well. We actually took care of all of their manufacturing services as well through Techpoint. We consolidated all of those services from PCB assembly to cable harnessing, all into one solution. Now the difference, I suppose, in this customer, and that's the bespoke nature of what we do as well, is that the end build of that project was something that they couldn't outsource. That was their core competency. So we ended up buying and procuring and building and manufacturing all of their products, but actually then putting them into kit form so they can do the final assembly, the final test and the final build. And I think also another example there as well is how the project went for an evolution of what we originally looked at for the customer as well. And we ended up actually supplying even down to their packaging, their labelling. We stock held their built products. They'd actually build a product in-house but send built stock product back to us, and we'd end custom fulfill it for them as well. So really it's the ability for them to scale up or scale down at any point and rely upon the Techpoint Group's diverse range of services for its business. Actually, I live in Norwich. I'm from Norfolk originally as well. So from a business point of view of the advantages of retaining our supply chain services business in Norfolk, I suppose, is from a location point of view, I think we're sandwiched between probably 3 of the best engineering universities and colleges in the UK. We've got West Suffolk College, which is fantastic from an engineering point of view. They offer fantastic apprenticeship schemes as well, which we've taken advantage of in the past. We've then got the University of East Anglia, which has some of the best, obviously, engineering and science capabilities in terms of UK universities. We've also then obviously got, which everyone's heard of, is Cambridge University, and Cambridge itself. I think even from away from Cambridge University, Cambridge itself is one of the most densely populated cities or towns in the whole of Europe in terms of tech businesses. I think there's over 1,500 tech businesses in Cambridge alone. So I think that's some of the advantages of being where we are. Others, in terms of logistics costs, it's quite low in terms of building and premises cost. We've got a very diverse range of skills. We've got a fantastic range of businesses actually in the Norfolk region as well, from automotive to medical and industrial test as well. So I think it's a great place to be. And away from business, actually, from a staff point of view, it's actually a beautiful county to live in as well. We've got some of the best schooling in the UK. We've got a very modern, expensive medical facility in terms of the Norfolk and Norwich Hospital as well. So quality of life point of view for our staff is very important as well. We're very lucky at Techpoint that we've got a mix really of private shareholders and also very wealthy private equity owners as well. All UK owned as well. We're very proud of that at Techpoint as well. We're a UK owned business. In fact, we're now ranked the top UK-owned electronic manufacturing services company in the UK as well, so something to be very proud of. So where do we see it go? We will continue acquiring businesses as we have done. We've made 4 acquisitions over the last 4 years, all fantastic businesses, very high-tech in their own right in whatever field that they're experts in as well. We've been very happy with those. That will continue to also happen. We'll continue to invest in our people. And what we get really excited about as well is investing in new technologies as well. And I suppose as a couple of examples of that in the past as well is you've probably been through an airport in the last 6 months perhaps and seen they've got new 3D X-ray scanners at airports. And it's the same sort of technology we use, and we were the first to pioneer this in the UK as well, of actually using 3D X-ray technology as part of our electronic manufacturing process as well. So very briefly, most companies would use a single imaging X-ray equipment to inspect solder joints automatically after a PCB assembly process, whilst we use an automated 3D X-ray process, which is the same as a CT scanner you'd also find in hospitals as well. So it would be multiple images, and it would actually create a 3D image of every single solder joint on the board. And to put that into some perspective, that's thousands of individual solder joints that it's measuring the volume and density automatically of every single solder joint. And that's a really unique piece of equipment sitting in our site over in the southwest in Wiltshire as well. And that's just one of many sort of higher tech, unique parts of the Techpoint manufacturing investments that we've made as well. We've actually been in the aerospace sector for a number of years now, actually. We've manufactured cable assemblies which have gone into space. We've manufactured some PCB assemblies. It's also gone into space as well, but as well as having customers in commercial airlines and also customers in the defence sector as well. But I suppose probably in relation to your question is why we're looking at growing our presence in the aerospace and the defence sector is I think it's very synergistic compared to our industrial high-tech customers and really what Techpoint represent, which is obviously manufacturing everything with the utmost reliability, the utmost quality, and we actually enjoy and have got the capability to be at the forefront of electronics manufacturing as well and technology. And I think that's some reasons why we enjoy working with aerospace and defence customers. We are AS 9100 in our supply chain services business. We're looking at other accreditations as part of that. So the accreditations, but I think also that then forces our business and our processes to improve constantly as well. So another good reason to be part of the aerospace and defence sector is actually the challenge of it and what pushes our business to become to improve all the time.